Welcome back to Muddy Paws Disc Golf. This week we played Whispering Falls Disc Golf Course in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. This is a wooded/open course. We played the long to long option because we wanted to challenge ourselves and see how we could hold up on a really difficult course. Hole 1 is a pretty long chuck par 4. Just go up over the hill and all the way down to the other side. Stay up, miss it. Good shot.
But we did have 3 players.
Oh, Matt. No! Matt, I'm gonna throw my... Look at that tree. Matt gets a bad tree hit here and has to lay up. Shot.
Nice layup.
He and Matt both start off here with tough bogeys, but Dad is able to save a par. Hole 2 is much more wooded. It's up with a right-hander, and you just go all the way to the long basket. I decide to go turn over backhand here, clip a tree.
That gets through, it's good.
Oh! Matt gets a bad miss and rolls down the hill a little ways. I can't finish the putt. Dad taps in for another par, and me and Matt once again tap in for bogey. Hole 3 is a par 4, along and then over one of the steepest hills you've ever seen on a disc golf course.
Like that. That's how it's supposed to be done.
Matt has a beautiful first shot, and I ground it slightly.
Oh, good kick.
But end up pretty close to the top of the hill. The next shot here is usually over the flat section, and you want to be just at the top of the hill if you're going for par.
Get over.
Still.
Oh! Dad gets no luck here. And this is how steep the hole is. They actually have a line set up for you to hold on as you walk down.
Oh!
I putt in for 4. Dad almost falls over, putts in. And Matt makes a long one.
Big bird.
For birdie. Hole 4 has 2 options to get to the long basket: the riskier lower line that could pay off, or the high line with a pretty small gap.
Oh, he
Matt
takes this.
somehow knocks it through.
Super high.
I put it off to the right somewhere.
That worked out, huh?
Yeah.
And Dad forehands it off the side of the hill. So, not great starting out.
Huh?
Dad is able to save his. Matt gets an unlucky tree bounce. And I somehow made it through, so I'm actually able to put up a pretty easy upshot for a par.
Damn.
Oh no!
Nice.
Hole 5 is a high and tight shot down to a basket that is shared by hole 17 for the long placement. Yeah, it's basically over this cavern. I took the riskiest line ever and somehow made it through. It ended up paying off. I don't suggest that line though. It was much
That's the way
gnarlier
to
than
do it.
I originally anticipated.
Very nice.
Matt takes the textbook line straight up the center. And Dad goes a little closer to what I was doing, but places it very nicely and gets out. I lay
That's
up. Matt puts it in the bushes slightly. And Dad ends up a little short here. Matt makes it from the bushes. I
Nice
get
shot.
my 3. So we're all in for par. Hole 6 is a 265-foot wooded hole that goes down and then abruptly around a corner for the long basket. Dad throws it right down the middle, pretty much right where you want to be. It's good. That's on. Matt goes right up the middle, safe. And once again, I play the gnarlier line, and it doesn't pay off. I clip a tree. Matt tries to go forehand through here and somehow slides out. Dad lays up next to the basket. And I give it a run here,
Parked.
but it's not that close. I tap in for
Let me
my
get
3.
Okay.
I tap in for
Matt.
Dad, and Matt taps in as well. Hole 7 is a longer hole. It was up in the left position when we played it. It's over this valley, and then off in the trees farther than where I threw it, but in that area. Dad goes off to the wrong side here.
Get up there. Good shot.
And Matt throws a perfect one right to the mouth of the opening.
Good shot.
Shot. Everybody lays up. I had a tough putt for 3. Could not sink it.
Nice putt. Nice putt.
Hole 8 is a brutal hole with a left-hander, a right-hander, and then a long straight all the way to the basket.
Kick down
I got
the
a
middle.
kick out there, luckily, which put me right at the beginning of the first turn.
Turn over.
Uh-oh.
Matt goes into the bushes.
Okay, you're fine. I saw I hit the... Flip. Get over. Come on, come on, come on. Ah.
And Dad sits it down right at the base of the bushes. I got through the tree, luckily. It was a pretty thin branch, and I get a good amount of fade.
Am I still in?
Yep. Dad tries to go forehand here, but doesn't
Wow.
really get what he wanted and ends up by the short basket.
Oh, that's what I was trying to do.
Perfect,
Matt places one beautifully with fairway driver right where he wants to be. Throw my compass down here. It's a wee bit short, but it was within putting range.
Oh.
Dad does the same. Matt here in a little bit of a tough spot. Tries to go forehand and just barely gets knocked down. Would have been beautiful. And then just
Good putting.
tosses up. I threw up a jump putt here. Not exactly what I was looking for. If you couldn't have figured it out yet, this long to long is really, really tough. It's a hard placement. It's brutal. It drains you. By 9, we were all starting to get really tired. I would really
Tough
suggest if
hole.
you're going to play the long to long, come prepared.
That's what this is meant
Hole
for.
9 is another really tough one. A very, very long straight shot, and then a hard right-hand turn.
Come on, come on, come on.
Dad lays it down right at the beginning of the first turn. And I get probably one of my best drives of the day here. I'm able to sit it down right next to the short basket. It would have been probably a tap-in if we were playing to the shorts. And Matt also gets a beautiful one. Sits down right near mine. Dad tosses out but gets some good distance.
Oh, it skipped straight down the path.
Matt goes thumber here. He didn't have a very good line.
Right in there. Like that, you parked it. Nice.
I was putting for bird there, but just lays up.
Yeah.
Tap in for par. Hole 10 is down a steep hill. There are 27 holes here. We decided to go down, which was a bad decision.
that was a big
You will
gap.
find out why in a minute. Yeah, that was an okay drive here. This is a mid-range shot for us, but it is very touchy, very easy to get wrong.
Get around.
This section as a whole for the group did not go very well. We just started making stupid mistakes here. Really, we should have been through these 3 holes with pars, but we just weren't able to put down any shots, and we weren't thinking about approaches enough.
They're all right there.
Me and Matt tap in. And if you can tell, everyone parked on the fairway for hole 11. But Abby got a nice swim. So we had to skip 11, but we moved right on to 12, which wasn't blocked off. Within these COVID times, though, you do have to be careful of this down low section, as there are a lot of cars. This one is a slightly wooded, straight ahead shot. The basket is, I think, around 400 feet straight ahead. It is a tough shot, though. There are some trees blocking the obvious lines, so you have to take some go-arounds to get this correct.
Good putt. Jack, go.
After this, you walk almost a mile back up the hill you just came down to hole 13, which is a par 4, pretty long, up around some corners.
Hey.
Somewhere up there. Oh.
Maybe we should. Good shot. Get in. Oh, not getting in.
From this point forward, this course ate us alive. This hole is really tough. It has a hard left hand, and it would be reasonable as a par 4, but for the long placement, it is a par 3.
The trees were kind.
Good shot. Right there. Good shot. How am I feeling?
Nice putt.
15 is the only remaining forgiving shot on this course. It's a pretty wooded tunnel shot, but it's real short. You can throw it with a midi or a putter, and you just have to lay it up on the hill somewhere, and you got an easy putt for 2. But I can't seem to do that. I ground it, and not happy about it. And Matt can't really make it happen either, but he gets down there enough.
Loaded in there.
Regardless, it is easy pars. But Dad is able to putt in for a bird.
From Matt.
Birdie.
Hole 16 starts wooded, opens up, and then ducks back into the woods. Dad grip locks one into the woods. This is where it all really started to fall apart. I throw one up really high, and it hits one of the first branches. And Matt tosses one around the corner.
Perfect.
Pretty much a perfect shot.
Yep.
Chef's kiss. Dad just getting no love at all. Matt tosses up here, looking for a bird. Dad once again gets knocked down. And I am able just to get to the mouth of the opening. I'm playing for par at this point. Dad finally gets through the woods. I lay it up, it gets knocked down.
Yeah.
But that's not as far from the basket as it looked. And I putt in for 4.
Get it.
Oh.
Matt can't make the birdie happen, but he does end up parring. 17 is really, really scary. You gotta throw it over this natural wetland, and if it lands in there, it's out of bounds.
Oh.
Dad
Get
gets
that
the
wind
luckiest
bounce.
wind
Oh.
bounce I've seen in a long time, and barely gets through.
Oh, and
Matt here has a really good shot, and lands out in the open.
Is that the right direction?
I toss it down towards 17's basket, which is also the basket for 5.
skip it in there. Roll it.
18, you can shoot either way around a giant pine tree, and then hopefully you make it over the pond and sit it in for 3. Finally, I have a decent drive. I get it around the pond to the far side. Matt decides to go the other way around. So does Dad.
Nice, flatten out.
This is definitely one of the easier holes on the course, but you're just so tired by this point that it does make it a little tougher to focus. So everybody lays up here and throws in. So this course was awesome. I mean, course-wise, it was beautiful, well-designed, and very well maintained. Hats off to the designers and the people who upkeep this and the locals. I'm glad we got to meet some of you guys. It was awesome. But this course was probably a little over our heads for the time. We also, I just think, played a subpar round for what we can do. But that happens sometimes, and I'm not going to stand here and say that we have great rounds every time we play. That just is the way it works. But it was really interesting to play a course that is kind of rated as one of these courses that is extremely difficult and play it to the longest option. It kind of opened my eyes to see how good the pros really are. Thanks for watching. This has been Muddy Paws Disc Golf. If you enjoyed, we'd really appreciate a subscribe or a like, and we'll see you next week.